Good morning, America. Good afternoon from Germany. Here's Pascal again. And we have Tuesday, second day of the week, and Christmas is coming. No Christmas rally yet, but let's see what the news for today can bring us. So let's switch to our economic calendar right away. And we see in about 13 minutes we will have building permits again, the numbers for November. The forecast is a little bit lower than the previous number, but what the market wants to see is even lower number, so a worse than expected housing market. And then we can maybe see a little bit of traction to the upside. At first we need to see a bottom because we are trading lower than yesterday. Let's move to Nasdaq futures. There were some major news in the night. Unexpected news from the Bank of Japan, the central bank of Japan, and they went a little bit higher with their interest rate, or said they had a broader range now where the 10-year bonds can yield. And this was really unexpected from the market, because the last time they told us they will stay with their policy of weak money. And this is a little bit a problem for the Japanese economy, because Japanese yen went to I think it was 30 or 40-year low, so every import is really expensive now, and they had to do something. The inflation is not as high as it is in Europe or America, but for Japanese it's high for Japanese comparisons, because the last, I think, 3 decades they were around 0% inflation, though they had almost deflation and were struggling to have any inflation. The problem is that the Japanese government is really high in debt. They have, I think, 280% of GDP in debt, and that's a big problem, because when there are higher interest rate, they will get a problem to pay the interest fees. Let's see what will go on here, but this was a big surprise in the night. You see here 4 a.m. my time. This was 10 p.m. Eastern time. We went down big. This was a downfall of 1.4% Nasdaq. We found the bottom here. We were trading higher during the European session. You see here the opening of European exchanges. Then we went up again. We retested the breakout level here right now. And we have 10 minutes left for the news, and then we will probably see a breakout to the upside or to the downside. Let's see what will happen. We still have more than 1 hour until the market opens. Let's go on a higher time frame to see the price levels from yesterday again. You see the low was right before the closing. Half an hour before the closing we had lows of 11,131. We closed a little bit higher at the 11,200 level. And we're just trading sideways until the Bank of Japan came out with their news. But we are trading right at this Fibonacci level. I told you yesterday that this will be an important level, and I'm just waiting for this level to hold. And if we cannot hold this level and we will close lower today, then probably we will see no Christmas rally right now. And we'll retest the previous lows here below 11,000 level. The last low here was 10,750 points, and this is a 100% correction to the downside. So I'm prepared to turn bearish, because if we cannot hold this level, then I will not be bullish anymore. But for now, I'm still waiting for the turnaround Tuesday. It's not too bad, the information from the Bank of Japan. Yes, it's not good for the market, of course, but it's not a big thing that the Christmas rally cannot happen anymore. So let's just wait for the news and for market open to see what the market participants want the market to do here. But it's the 5th consecutive day in the red today. Let's see if we also close in the red, or if we can turn, because Tuesday is my favorite turnaround day, and numbers are looking good for a turnaround, but we will have to wait. It's still weak, and it's still below the closing of yesterday, so we will have to wait for some movement and some news which can cause bigger movements. The levels are still the same, so yes, I could redraw Fibonacci with a lower level here. We talked about this yesterday. Let's just do this, maybe it fits better, but you can see that it's almost the same level, it's not a big difference. So here you see we would be right at the 11,000 level with this Fibonacci line here. So when we cannot hold the level and break below, then it's looking really bearish, and then we have a lot of room to the downside here, minimum 250 points, or even to the lows of October, which was 10,600, so 400 more points to the downside. So this would be a nice short trade if you could enter it below 11,000, but for now I'm just waiting if we see a bottom here or a breakthrough, and maybe we can trade it still to the upside and see a late Christmas rally. I know Jim Cramer was saying the Christmas rally can start now, and he is often on the wrong side. So yeah, maybe some of you follow Inverse Cramer ETF on Twitter, and they are posting everything that he was wrong on. Yeah, but maybe he is right this time, so he cannot be wrong every time. Let's see. I'm not relying on Jim Cramer, just doing my own due diligence, my own analysis like every day. And I'm prepared for it, so I know what can happen and where are the levels. I'm not in a position right now. I'm waiting for the market to show me a turning point, and then I can enter a position. Let's have a look at crude oil and natural gas. We start with crude oil here. Crude oil is down in the last weeks, but up today 1% green, but not above the high points of yesterday. I have no position here because I managed to close my short put yesterday with a nice profit. Maybe I can show it. Where is it? No, I have not opened my account right now here, so I cannot show it. But I closed it yesterday, the 59 strike put, with about $750 in the green, and no position right now. And the same with natural gas. I managed to close my short calls. Where's my chart here? Bring this up here. So you see here, this is still the January future. Now we could switch also to February. Let's do this right away. Futures here, because it's still front month contract. Okay, we have the expiry on December 28th. So soon there will be the February future. Okay, we can still stick to the January one, but in the next week we will have to switch to February, because then this will be the front month future. We see today again in the red, 6% like expected yesterday. I told you we have still some room to the downside to the last lows here of $5.38 or maybe $5.33. So around this level should be the low point, and there I will probably go in with a small long trade just for a smaller reversal or a small rejection here from the low points, from the support level. Let's see how soon we can hit this level here. I have no short call position right now, closed it with more than 2k profits, but I still have the short put position, and this one is still in the green because implied volatility is going lower. It's rising a little bit today, but only by half a percentage point, so almost nothing. So just waiting, and as soon as we hit this level here, we will probably see a smaller reversal to the upside, and then I can probably leave my short put position, which has a strike of $3.70. But for now we are in the red, 6% today with natural gas, but I'm not in a directional future trade, therefore it's not a big issue for me. And we talked about this gap yesterday, so it's not a real gap because we had the wicks here. I'm not speculating on the closing of this gap here, but at this low point here I will take on a long trade in the future directly, and to maybe speculate to come back here to the $6 level, or let's see how far we can go. I will put a stop loss right below this level here to be stopped out immediately if we cannot hold the level. So maybe at 520 will be my stop loss, and I will enter it here at what is the low point, 535, something around this. And so I will have a stop loss really near, but I want to trade it to the upside here at the $6 level, and maybe I will leave it earlier. It's still a nice risk-reward ratio here, but for now it's red and I have to wait for the levels to come. That's for natural gas. And Euro USD, we see almost no direction today, just trading sideways, still in this uptrending channel here. Yes, of course, the news from Bank of Japan are not really good for the market, especially for the stock market. Why? Because there are a lot of carry trades going on. What is carry trading? Carry trading is used to borrow money for cheap, because interest rates were so low in Japan for several years. They borrowed money in Japanese yen and transferred it into the US dollar, and then they moved the money into the stock market. So they made money by stocks rising and or just by getting higher interest rates in the US dollar. Like right now, we are at more than 4.5% interest levels. So it's interesting to get the interest rate difference between Japanese yen and US dollar. That's carry trade. So you borrow in a currency which has cheap interest rates, and you transfer the money into a currency which offers you better interest rates. And then when the US dollar was getting stronger, it's even better, because now you have more worth. The money is worth more when you transfer it back to pay your debt. But now with the Bank of Japan changing suddenly its policy, the Japanese yen is getting stronger again versus the US dollar. And that's a big issue. Why? Yeah, because now the debt is worth more. So a lot of carry traders now have to change back their US dollars into Japanese yen and are forcing the US dollar to go weaker, to drop, and Japanese yen to go higher and to be stronger. And this can also cause the stock market to drop, because the money will be pulled out of the riskier assets and transferred back into Japanese yen, because when there comes more fear that the Japanese central bank will move higher with the interest rates, then this fear will increase, and therefore the carry trades will go reverse. So we will see the transfers from America, from the US dollar back to Japan into Japanese yen to pay off their debt. And yeah, this can cause heavy reactions on the stock markets, these carry trades. It was working for several years because the interest rates were so low, but yeah, it's getting really a big problem, big issue when the interest rates are rising in Japan. And therefore, always have a look at the Bank of Japan and what the policy of this central bank is, because it can affect stock markets. Okay, that's for carry trades. Let's have a look also. 1 minute left for the news, so let's go back to Nasdaq right away. 1 minute left, 30 seconds left. Let's go right away to a 1 minute chart just to see the movement of the Nasdaq to the news. Just bring up the news here, just that we see it right away, what happens when the news are out. So again, we want to see a lower number or slightly lower number than the forecast. Not too bad, because yeah, now they also fear that the economy will go in a recession, and the number is lower than expected. That's good for the stock market. That's what we want to see. Building permits down 11%. Wow, nice. Housing starts a little bit higher than expected. But building permits are lower than expected. That's good for the stock market. It's beginning to rise right now. Yes, I know it's not a heavy reaction like we see on inflation data like PCI. It's starting right now, going to the upside. That's what we want to see. So less fear of high inflation, less fear of higher interest rates. Let's just see the numbers for the next Federal Reserve meeting on February the 1st. The probabilities went up to 63% today for 25 basis points move. You see from 4.5% to 4.75%, 63% probability. So almost 2/3 think now that we will see a small interest rate step of only 25 basis points. You see the difference from months ago. It was 40%, 1 week ago it was 57%, and today it's 63%, and it will probably move higher on these news, but we have more news to come this week, but the probability will go higher because of the worsening housing market. And this is exactly what Jerome Powell and the other board members wanted to see, a weakening of the housing market. They are still waiting for a weakening of the job market, but this means less pressure on inflation and therefore more probability for a lower interest rate step. That's what we want to see, and that's what the market is giving the Federal Reserve right now. But we can see the same like last Friday. So the numbers were good last Friday, but then the market was suddenly dropping again and going its direction. Though that's why I don't trade just the news, I trade market direction, and therefore I'm still waiting for a bottom to come, and I will not start buying Nasdaq futures before I see confirmation. I want to see that we have a clear level where a bottom is made, and then we can gain traction to the upside again. That's what I want to see, and not before this I will take on a position. So let's talk about the other news for this week. Today is Tuesday. We had now the news here with building permits. Tomorrow we will have half an hour after the market opened, consumer confidence index and existing home sales. So here 3-star events again. So tomorrow I will probably live stream the market open, maybe go live 5 or 10 minutes before the market opens, and then live stream these two events here. And for Thursday we will have GDP again 1 hour before the market opens. This is really important because we will see economy data. So it's difficult to predict what will happen here, because of course we want to have not too high GDP growth, because this means again inflation risk, but we also don't want to have too low GDP growth, because this means a recession risk. So we want to be almost in line or just slightly below, maybe 2.8%. This would be ideal for the market to go higher. This will be really interesting on Thursday, I think, the GDP data, and if we see the numbers in line or slightly below the forecast, this would be ideal for rising prices. And again, initial jobless claims like every Thursday, but as I told you already, it's not really important, the weekly number. We will probably see at mid or end of January more interesting numbers here. Friday will be important, day before Christmas Eve. Core PCE again 1 hour before the market opens. So a lot of news again today, and therefore everything can happen this week. So we have to wait for the market and for the volume to come and to push the prices higher or lower. Let's just see and prepare for everything. So right now it's a little bit green, but not really green. The numbers were good. The market should gain a little bit of traction now, but the Bank of Japan news were really bad for the market, as I explained you, because of these carry trades. It's not moved and shifted right away back. It takes its time. It's over several days and weeks, and right now there has nothing big happened. They were just talking about a broader range for the 10-year bonds, but this was really a surprise for the market because almost no one expected this. And that's why there was this heavy reaction to the downside from the market. And now we have to wait for the market to open in about 55 minutes to see what they will do with the housing numbers and the news from Japan, if they want to settle at lower levels or if they will go higher from here. So we are a little bit oversold on the daily chart. So maybe we can see a smaller correction from here. You see RSI is oversold for the last days already, but it is not an uptrend at all. So it is a downtrend. You see parabolic SAR is on the upside here, and ADX is showing us a downtrend. So we have to wait for the reversal. I want to see a minimum one green candle, or better a doji candle, huge wick on the up and down side and almost nobody. And then maybe we can see here a turning point on the day chart, but I will be patient and wait for better price entries, for more security, for more safety for entering my long trade here. Yes, if you have some questions, just ask them. I will be live for about 4 or 5 more minutes. Let's talk about Tesla here. Tesla is still weak again. 0.7% red today. The candle is green, but that's the case because we opened lower with a down gap here pre-market, as you can see. Yeah, let's see where Tesla ends the day. Musk stepped down as CEO of Twitter, but that doesn't mean that he has more time for Tesla now and that he will be able to turn the stock market prices for Tesla. Yeah, let's see. It's interesting to see all the news every day. Something new from Elon and Twitter. A little bit crazy. I'm glad that I didn't enter any trade here because it's really like a roller coaster. But yeah, this roller coaster is going to the downside right now, almost every day or every second day. So volatility is interesting, but I rather want to wait for my $125 level to come and then begin to sell some puts with high implied volatility and interesting option premiums. Tell us about your sugar position. Yeah, my sugar position is not looking really good today because we are almost at the entry point again. 0.2057 was my entry point, and you see today we are higher than yesterday. Again, not higher than the highest point, but trading a little bit higher, almost 1% higher than the closing levels of yesterday. So it's trading sideways. It's okay, but it's not really going in the right direction right now. Therefore, I'm just waiting. If we go higher than this high point here, I'm stopped out, and I'm just waiting in this position here. It's not the best one. Better being in a short call position in an option to have standard decay in your favor, but here I'm in a future, so I will not earn standard decay in this sugar position here. Yeah, orange juice the same, just going sideways. Here nothing interesting, just waiting for higher levels to come to enter a trade. But I have something other interesting for you. Rice. Here is rice future, and we have seen yesterday a breakout to the upside after several days of sideways trading. Unfortunately, rice is not the most liquid one, so it's not really interesting to trade it with options at all. Even the future is not really liquid, so you can see that not a lot of contracts are traded per day. So you see 250 contracts a day. That's not a lot of volume. Yeah, but it's interesting to see that we see a breakout here, and maybe we can see higher levels. Here I won't trade it. I just wanted to show you this because I'm looking at several commodity prices at the moment. Yeah, sugar. We talked already about sugar. Amazon. Okay, let's go to Amazon. Do I have the Amazon chart here? No, I don't. Then let's use this Netflix chart. Ah, yeah, Netflix. I can talk about Netflix. So I have a Netflix position. We are lower pre-market here, as you can see, and implied volatility went up. I have to wait for the market to open to see the option prices because you cannot trade options pre-market, or at least not stock options. You can trade future options, of course, but not stock options. I have to wait for the opening to see where the implied volatility will start. But for now, we are still holding the last lows here, and I'm only in my position with one contract, so I'm ready to take on another one at this level for a better entry price, for a good mean price of these two contracts. Then I will have shorted two 240 strike January puts. But let's wait for the market to open in about 50 minutes. Now to Amazon, let's have a look at Amazon. This was the option price chart from yesterday. So I was still in the green at the closing yesterday because I opened at $5.30. And now to Amazon. Where's my Amazon chart? Here. Let's use this rise. I don't need it anymore. Amazon. Yeah, it's moving to the downside. You can see the break of the last lows yesterday, so it's pretty weak. In 70% of the cases, we see a comeback to the breakout level. So let's just redraw the lines here. The low point was here, and we had the break yesterday, so probably we will see a retest of this level here and then see the rejection to the downside because Amazon is weak here, making new lows, lower lows. And if the market overall cannot gain traction, cannot go higher, then this will be difficult for Amazon to hold the levels, and I think we will see more sell-off. It's a weak stock like Tesla right now because of the break of the last lows. If the market can go higher and can go strong higher, then we can maybe see higher levels, of course, but the chances are more on the downside. So retest now the resistance level. It was previous support, now it acts as a resistance. In 70% of the cases we come back here to retest this level and then see the sell-off. So an interesting point to enter a short position if you want to. You could take on a short position here, or sell a call, or buy a put, because implied volatility is not too high here with Amazon. You can also buy a put. Of course, no financial advice. Like every time, it's just for entertainment purposes here, my streams. But this is an interesting point if you want to trade Amazon right now. Okay, Shaq, let's say if market goes up, what level will you buy Nasdaq March futures? So the level is not important. More important is that we go up. So I want to see a doji or a green candle on the day chart, and then I can take on a long trade on every Fibonacci level. If we break above the Fibonacci level here or here, I can take on new long trades, and yeah, it will be in my favor. And you see we can clearly see the next levels here, the next target points. So I have enough room to the upside in the next 3 weeks, because I'm still bullish until mid of January, and I have March expiry for the future here, so I don't have to roll it. And yeah, just waiting. If you miss out 100 or 200 points, it's not a big issue here, because I've also missed out 200 points to the downside, because I was stopped out here last week. And that was good, because you see we are trading lower right now, and I have the possibility to enter at a better price level. And yeah, that's it. Just have a plan, and then go into it and set it to reality, your plan. But you have to have your levels where you want to enter it. And I want at first to see a green daily candle, or at least doji candle, and then I can enter with slightly small positions at first, and then as soon as we go higher and gain traction, then I will go with more contracts to the long side in this trade. Just waiting for the prices to find the bottom and then find its direction. But I think that we at least will see a smaller correction to the upside, because we are now really oversold with this 5th consecutive red day right now. Okay, that's it for now. Hope you liked it, and I would enjoy to have your thumbs up for this live stream. And if you didn't do it, then please subscribe to my channel and ring the bell to be informed every time I go live again. And yeah, tomorrow I will live stream market open, or right before market open, until the news come out. So be prepared for this, and if you want to join, I would be happy to be your host. See you tomorrow. Goodbye. Have a nice